Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. I'm Michael,
And I'm Bruce.
and this is The Average Experience. So, last week, we watched the original Tron movie. And I've never seen that, but you've seen that.
Yes.
And you like that movie a lot, right?
Love Tron.
All
One
right.
of my favorites.
Okay, so this week, we're watching The Revenant. And I've seen it before, and you haven't.
No,
Right?
I've never seen this movie.
Okay, and you said I know, because you talked a little bit before, but you said you knew nothing about this, right?
No, so the only thing I've ever known about this was whenever I was in high school, my English teacher was basically begging me to watch this movie. He
okay.
was like, me and him had like a thing about movies, and we talk about it all the time.
So he was your original podcast member before me?
Pretty much. But he mentioned this movie. He mentioned this movie a lot, and I never watched it because it just seems like one of those kind of too artsy movies.
Okay.
Usually, I mean, I'm not like strictly just Marvel movies and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I know sometimes things go a little too far with
Out
certain
the
actors.
comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess like you get too much
Scorsese?
You get too much
Scrooge McDuck.
whatever his name is.
Scorsese.
Too much Scorsese,
Yeah.
like kind of in your own head type of thing, and you get like megalopolis type shit.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I thought about The Revenant before I saw it.
So was your thought confirmed, or was
It's okay. This movie is not my particular favorite. I do like parts of it, and a lot of it is good, but like it drags a lot.
It's just I will say, I watched this movie when I was a kid. Like my mom took me to watch this movie as a kid because the trailer, from what I remember, isn't like, yeah, it's a rated R movie, but my mom thought maybe it's just like language. But like,
yeah, and they like extreme violence.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. Because that's
But-
why everybody always talks about that bear attack in the movie.
yeah, which we'll get to that later. I thought that was so cool. But the most fond memory I have of this movie is that one scene comes on,
The very uncomfortable scene.
the one uncomfortable scene, yeah, when the French guy takes advantage of the Native American.
The
I want to be
chief's daughter.
I want to be correct. I don't want to offend anybody. Native American. We'll go with
Yeah.
Native American. When the Native American gets taken advantage of, I vividly remember, because this was like not opening night of the movie, but like a day after it came out, and people were like in the theater. It was kind of packed. And my mom saw this happen, and it was me and one of my friends, and we're like in our early teens. She stands up and screams, "Cover your eyes," and stands in front of us so we can't see this happen. So that was my most vivid memory of this movie.
That's awesome.
Couldn't remember much else
Did she
about
actually
it.
like scream in the
Yeah,
theater?
yeah. No, she
Oh,
was like,
that's
she was
fucking
like,
awesome.
she was like, "Cover your eyes," and she stood up and like blocked our vision. And so like
went full mama bear.
exactly. So literally went mama bear. There you go. And so I remember thinking, man, there's like a really uncomfortable, like horrendous scene, and that's what I had of this movie from that one scene. Now watching the movie and watching that scene, it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you don't see anything. It implies a lot.
It
but
could be a lot worse.
it could be a lot for a rated R movie. It could be a lot worse. Okay, but like, I remember as a kid being like, "Oh my gosh, do you remember that scene from the one movie that I couldn't even see because my mom was blocking it?" So that's kind of all I got from it. Well, not all I got from it, but I do remember enjoying it as a kid because it was, being a early teenager, being like,
there's cool violence in this.
"Oh
movie.
yeah," being an early teenager, I'm like, "Yeah, I just watched a rated R movie. What'd you do?" So
You know, it's funny. Not to derail this anymore, but one of my first R-rated things, whenever I was like, R-rated movie,
Yeah.
was the Dictator. Remember when
okay,
and I was like, I never wanted to tell anybody because I saw that dick on screen, and I was just like, what a fucking terrible first experience at the rated R theater.
I'm never watching a rated R movie again.
I had to see it.
My mom was right. She was right.
She was right.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh man. But this movie, it starts out with an incredibly violent scene with that whole the Native American attack on the little like camp.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
And General Hux is in this movie.
General Hux is in this movie. Yes, I realized that was the first thing. I was like, oh my gosh, General Hux is in this movie.
And he's the leader.
And he's the lead. It's It's basically Star Wars, but during the Civil War time.
Exactly.
That's exactly what this is. But so I don't interpretate things very well. I need something explained to me. So when that first scene came on, the first thing I wrote was, wait, so who's dying? Who is this? I was very confused. Obviously now I understand it's Leonardo DiCaprio. It's his wife and his son. I thought his son died. Okay, his son didn't die, just his wife.
Yes. He does like that Quentin Tarantino type of editing where it's like all
a little
over
confusing.
the place.
A little confusing.
Yeah.
But quickly you're shown, because it's like a time skip. I don't know how long it is. It's obviously several years. Mm-hmm. They do a time skip into where they're in the swamp, and it's Leo's character and then a Native American kid, and you can easily put one and two together, and it's his son.
It doesn't come off clear at first because I didn't understand if his wife was alive or not.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you go like into like what this movie is about. Do you want to know what my first note is here?
Yeah.
It's stop moving the fucking camera. I have a big problem, especially with the opening scene, and whoever this cinematographer is does it a lot.
So you don't like one takes because there's a lot of seems like
it's not about the one take; it's how they move the camera during the one take.
Okay, because there's a lot of one takes, and I wouldn't say I'm a sucker for them, but like I see one take and I'm like, I get intrigued.
No.
You know?
I like a good one take.
Uh-huh.
My problem is I can't stand whenever it goes from like a left to right pan, and all it is just moving in a circle around the character in that wide angle lens, and it pisses me off. It like the first time I was just like, okay, you don't really need that for this just talking scene,
right?
Whatever, you know. And then they do it again. And again, and then they do it with the mountain shots, and then
That's a lot, used a lot.
It's like, and especially in that opening scene, it just like kind of like oscillates around a character, and that's what bothers me. If you're gonna focus, just focus on the character for a minute and keep it the one take, but like it doesn't need to move all the time.
Right? Okay, I get what you're saying. I guess And
then my second note was always enjoy good old Native American killing.
Okay, I love big battles. I love fight scenes. It's masculinity coming through. You know, I'm like, hell yeah, that's the vibe I want from fight scenes. And
violence is cool, man.
Violence is cool. Violence is manly, right? And you really feel like at the very start when they're kind of moving around this fur, because they're fur trappers is what they are. Mm-hmm. So you kind of see them moving around and like doing their thing, and then it cuts to this one guy who's naked, and I think he's scalped. Yeah. I don't know if he's scalped at this point, but then they're like, oh crap, we're about to get messed up. And you really do kind of feel the like ominous feel, which is cool. I did appreciate that. I liked how it was kind of like, because they shot the fire arrows and then like smoke started to come up and you're like,
the whole battle's great.
It's about to go down.
Like,
you know,
everything from like them getting like, you have like squibs going off whenever they're getting shot in like the knee and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's a
really cool stuff.
Really good fight.
It's great. Like even down to like them shooting and then like they actually like react to it in a pretty realistic way.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
I will say I do like Will Poulter, is that his last name?
Yeah, I think so.
He's in
oh shit.
He's in We're the Millers, and then he's in Guardians of 3.
That guy is great. I like that guy a lot.
I want to say it's Will Poulter. I think that's his name. I will say I didn't realize it until a lot later in the movie. I didn't know that Tom Hardy was Fitzgerald.
I didn't either. Okay, wait a minute. I did not either until like way later in the movie that I was like...
until I think he got back to the camp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they were at the camp, and I was like, wait a second. Where do I know him from? And I paused it, and I was looking at the cast. I was like, no way, Tom Hardy. I think it's the beard. I think the beard is what throws me off.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the beard, and then...
his whole, like, I mean, he changes his voice so much for stuff. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because same thing. It wasn't until he was sitting at the bar with the General Hux.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I recognize this guy. Hold on, let me look this up. And then you look at, oh, man. I hate Tom Hardy.
Really? You don't like Tom?
Have I told you about this?
No.
I don't like Tom Hardy.
How come?
I think it was just because of the Batman.
You don't like? Okay.
I did not like him as Bane.
Interesting. Okay.
But I don't know what it was. Like I like he always sneaks his way into movies for me.
Yeah.
And it's like shit that I like. I'm like, oh, he's playing a really good villain here,
Yeah.
whoever this guy is. And
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
Tom
fuck.
Hardy. It's Tom Hardy. This movie sucks now. I
Yeah.
hate this movie.
This movie sucks. Fucking Tom Hardy.
I will say, I really do like how when the battle gets like more intense, the sound dies down, and or like the music dies down,
Oh, yeah.
and then it's just like sound of like the action. That's one thing I love about this movie is that there's not a ton of music, and it's really just like nature, their voices.
I
and
love the nature, like
I do
whenever it's
too.
just like
I do
just like you can hear like random moose like
yeah.
screaming
Oh,
in the
yeah.
background, especially like whenever they wake up and stuff. And I'm like, man, that's nice.
That's majestic.
Some good sound design.
That
here.
is majestic. Yes. We can obviously tell from the very beginning with Tom Hardy's character that he's all about, getting paid. Because everyone's dying around him and he's like, get the furs, get on the boat.
Yeah.
And he's like pushing people aside, grabbing the fur, like letting people die and everything. So they get onto the boat and they're, of course, rowing away and they're gone. I really do like the shot. Like when we because we zoom in from like the top of the trees, I think, and then we zoom to the boat on the river with the fog.
Okay, yeah.
I love fog.
Okay,
All right,
yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite weather. Like when I'm driving,
Okay.
I'm a sucker for some good fog.
Hey,
Now,
you're talking about like in real life.
real
You
life,
just
real
like to
life
hang out
movies.
and
Oh
fall.
yeah, absolutely. it's mysterious, dude. It's so cool. It's like, yeah, that's right. I'm in the fog now. I can't see where I'm driving, but I'm in the fog now. So it's win some, lose some, But I do love some fog. I do think it's important to note that we do find out immediately that we're going to be following these Native Americans because they're trying to find the chief's daughter.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a centered in plot point. We know where these Native Americans are going the whole time. Whenever they're running into somebody, they're trying to find the chief's daughter.
Yes, they mentioned that in a piece of dialogue right in the very beginning, which is really interesting. I got to tell you, for the DVD rippers out there, if you get this movie, you need to get it with the first subtitles on. I did not know that at first. As soon as I saw the Indians start talking, and I was like, oh, shit. As soon as I saw the Native Americans start talking,
You gotta leave that in.
as soon as I saw them talking, I started noticing. I was like, they're talking too specific about something. I was like, that seems like. And then I Googled it. I'm like, what? Who is there supposed to be subtitles on this? And of course, the forums are like, well, I ripped the DVD and I don't understand what they're doing. There's supposed to be French subtitles, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
So
no, I didn't have subtitles on until
it's baked into the movie though, isn't it?
the subtitles.
Because you saw it on streaming, right?
Yeah, I put subtitles on though.
Really? It didn't
Yeah.
like usually
Okay.
stuff like that.
I think the first part, when they're talking about the daughter,
Yeah.
it's like the two Native Americans talking to one another and they talk about the daughter. I think there are subtitles, but then later when the Native Americans meet with the French, there's no subtitles. I was completely lost, and I was
Really?
like, crap. So I hate subtitles in movies.
I do
it
too.
takes away so much from the movie.
It does.
I don't care what anybody says. When people are like,
You're spending your time reading.
yes, and you're not paying attention to the movie.
Exactly.
And especially when you're taking note, obviously we take notes as we watch the movies.
Mm-hmm.
When I have to spend half my time looking at my phone when I'm typing, and then I have to look at the screen and read stuff again, it sucks.
I have to even with notes, I'll maybe pause it,
Okay,
or
yeah.
even rewind
Yes,
to be
yes,
like, hold on, I gotta visually see
Yes.
what happened here.
And so, that's why I don't like anime. Because
Yeah.
I'm not reading subtitles while I'm watching this intense
No.
fight scene. Absolutely not.
Exactly. I just want to watch it.
Exactly. Point aside, that's when I turned subtitles on, was when the French and the Native Americans were talking. I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. I'm like, are there supposed to be subtitles? And then I turned them on. I'm like, okay, I guess I should have these on from now on.
Yeah, that French dude is a piece of shit.
He's a prick.
Because he even mentions that like while he's talking to him, he's like, "You owe me this land. I'm looking for my daughter."
Mm-hmm.
He says that, and then that whole thing happens later on, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, ugh. Ugh, are you shitting me?
He's like,
This
I
whole
don't-
movie.
He's like, I have no idea where your daughter's at.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in the back of my kid.
God, man, it's horrible, man. The French are stupid.
Screw the French.
But
Sorry to any French listeners out there. Not really.
Dude, I will say, DiCaprio in this movie really impressed me with some of his like
Acting?
facial acting.
Okay,
Like even whenever like because he gets to the point where he's arguing with this guy and he's like
Tom
just
Hardy?
yeah with
Yeah.
with the this guy like they
This
can see what's
guy, I
going
hate
on.
this guy.
With Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And he's like he has that just kind of stoic, just kind of I'm not gonna do anything.
right?
I'm taking the high road on this, and he really. I don't know. He's just really locked in, like more than like he usually is.
Well, because he's not I wouldn't say he's not a serious actor, but he does a lot of different, categories.
He's kind of all over the place. He's like a
But I
kind
feel
of
like-
semi-serious actor.
I would say this is one of his more serious roles. There's
Really?
there's no comedy in this movie.
No,
There's-
not one
There's
fucking
no
bit.
comedy in this movie. It is hardcore balls to the wall right away.
Yeah.
I will say, I just want to get this out there. This movie, I know you said it drags a little bit, but this movie is like beautiful. It's breathtaking. Like every scene, I feel like, because it reminds me a lot of Colorado. I used to live in Colorado, and so it just like it's like almost nostalgia for me watching this whole movie.
Yeah.
So because I used to live in the mountains, and so it's like that looks like where I used to live.
I love Colorado. That used to be like my place I used to go visit just
Mm-hmm.
for like every like winter I'd go just spend some time out
It's
in the
nice,
mountains.
very beautiful.
Like,
And so this movie is just like nostalgic for me to watch that.
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I
The
do love it.
landscapes in here are absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything they do, and it's like it's real good America propaganda.
Yeah, it makes you want to go to America.
It's like wow, like you get these sprawling like rivers that run through stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the trees, and it's during that kind of snow season, so it's got that
Oh,
big
dude,
variation, like
I love it.
vegetation.
I love it because
Can't imagine how cold that water is, though.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
in the water a lot.
they
in
are.
this movie.
They are. There's some scenes where it goes straight from like snow straight to just like melted snow, or like straight to just like beautiful trees, and it's like, man, I would love to do that.
Oh yeah.
I will say, Tom Hardy's character is one ugly looking dude. With that, because I know that's part of his character. Like he got captured, and part of his head got like scalped or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he got free or whatever. That is, before I realized it was Tom Hardy, I was like, this dude is one ugly looking guy.
He's rough looking,
Yeah.
dude.
And then he starts cutting out his own hair too, right? Or there's one scene. I think that's really where I noticed. Is that
Yeah.
there's one scene where he's like bent over and he's like cutting out part of his hair where his like scalp was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is.
They kind of
Dude,
focus on it for a second.
You're making your haircut even worse, buddy. You're not doing yourself
well,
any
I
favors.
don't think there was any saving it. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was already rude
I think it
from
was
the beginning.
hardcore to them.
He wears the bandana like
Yeah.
KSI
Yeah.
does to hide it.
He's had it on his forehead. All right. He don't care about that scalp. He's had it on the forehead.
Oh man. But then
Basically, what happens following them being on the river, they go straight to Leo's character. Is like, look, we need to get off the boat. They're gonna find us and kill us or whatever. Fitzgerald's like, no, we need to stay on the boat. General Hux is like, all right, we're gonna listen to the navigator. I kind of trust what he's saying. So they ended up getting off the boat. So they ended up storing the furs or whatever. And I think one of the interesting like scenes because they needed like two people to like man the boat, and then they were gonna jump off and like let the boat take its course. The people that were manning the boat kept manning the boat, and they were like, yeah, this is stupid, we're gonna stay on the boat. And then it shows a later scene where the boat like crashes on the shore or whatever, and then the Native Americans like found them and killed them.
oh yeah, they
And
like,
so it's like, maybe you should have listened to Mr. DiCaprio,
oh yeah, well they mentioned like several times he knows this land
Mm-hmm.
more than anybody else, and I assume he had lived with the Indians for a while,
Mm-hmm.
or fucking shit, with the Native Americans for a while.
We get to the scene where Leo's walking around in the forest by himself.
Yeah, and he's just scouting, right?
Yeah. All right, he's like looking ahead, I think.
Yeah.
I will say that is probably one of the more beautiful shots, like that whole sequence, because it looks like, first off, there's fog. All right.
Fog. Yep.
It's pretty awesome. And then the forest itself is just like,
It's like a grimy indoor.
yeah, it's rainy, so it's like the leaves are dripping water, and it's beautiful.
It's nice.
It is. So he hears something, hears some rattling. She's like, uh-oh, maybe it's these Native Americans or something. And he's scanning. And I immediately thought, oh, crap, when he sees the bear cubs. Because he sees the bear cubs come out. And in my head, I'm like, there's a baby bear, there's a mama bear. So
yeah.
you best be ready. And then he like he hears a rustle, and he turns around and that thing's booking it to him already. Like he turns around and the bear stands up and is charging him already. I will say,
CGI bear.
you're not a big fan.
I
think it could have been worse. I don't think it's horrendous.
Could have been worse, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. It just some of the movements of it. I just like CGI just pops out so much.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't.
You think it's better than Cocaine Bear?
That's what I was gonna compare it to. I think actually some of the scenes in Cocaine Bear looked a little bit better than this.
Well, Cocaine Bear to come out what 7 years after this? It came out 2023, right?
Did it?
2023 or 2024?
That seems too close to now.
It is.
Oh my gosh, it's 2023.
Yeah, 2023. So that came out what?
Almost 10 years after this one.
Well, this one, 10 years, whatever.
Well, so yeah, it's a 16 in it.
Math, whatever. You're not here to listen to us talk about math. Anyway, so the bear messes him up. I wrote, let's see. I said Leo gets messed up by this bear. I said I do like how you can hear him breathing and then the nature and you like this is like this whole scene is just intense.
Oh yeah.
So there's no music, like it's just the rustle of the leaves and like him like dying basically.
But that's like something they carry throughout a lot of this because it's like a nice like indicator he's still alive. At least whenever he's like down. Yeah. Because this bear really fucking tears into him.
I wrote in all caps. I wrote, "Why would you shoot the bear again?"
What is he gonna do?
Play dead. Play dead. Let the bear leave. Then you can do something. But he crawls to his gun. The bear's not even looking at him. And he grabs the gun, turns around, and shoots the bear. And then the bear's like, oh, yo, I'm coming at you again. Leo wants all the smoke. I wrote, he wants all the smoke. Because then there's a later scene where the bear
Is that what you're supposed to do during a bear attack? Is just play dead?
What is it? It's like brown, play dead, black, fight back, white, you're screwed. I think it's like brown bears, like play dead, black bears, like try and intimidate them and fight back, and then polar bears, you're done. Like it don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
So like the bear is not facing him, and he's like, yeah, watch this. I'm gonna shoot you again. See like dim apples. All right. Well, he shoots the bear.
He was kind of just like waiting. Like he wasn't really like.
I don't know, but play dead. The bear was gonna move. The bear was moving away. The bear was not near him. Maybe he was.
It started like walking up to him, and then
the bear wasn't gonna attack him. It's like walking to him. He's got the gun. He just.
He doesn't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I got the gun. I'm gonna take the shot. I
was like, why? I don't know. But
then you gotta do something.
His hand's like up in the air at one point, and the bear's like gnawing on it.
God, that's gruesome. I hated that.
It was pretty rough. He gets really messed up, and then there's one scene when
bears are heavy too, and he's standing on him. I was thinking about that.
When he gets flipped over, he grabs the knife and he's just like shanking the bear, and I was like, dude, he wants. Leo's not dying until this thing's dead. Like, I was like, hey, bro just wants all the smoke.
Leo, he's always after his revenge. That's the thing. He's like,
I know, but I was
fuck
like,
with me or my shit.
I don't know. This was when he pulled out the knife. I was like, this man won't die. This man will not. Like,
he lives on revenge, dude.
He's literally like,
that's why he's there.
He's like, and then he's dying. He grabs the knife and he's like, come here, and he's just like shanking the bear in the neck. Like,
dude, he doesn't quit, dude.
I know.
It's so crazy, like, how much, like, death he brings to himself, you know?
Like, he could have just laid there and been fine, but the bear charges him again. He's just like, shunk, 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 shunk.
I mean, he's got to do something,
I know,
you know?
but, like, that's what I'm not...
Like, I agree with, like, whenever his men show up, and he's, like, good on him for taking the bear out with him, you know?
Yeah. That's one thing is that, like, I was like, hey, at least he killed the bear.
Yeah. Except for laying it on top of him.
Yeah. When you're watching this whole, like, the whole sequence happen, you're like, man, Leo's really getting... Okay, first off, his name is Glass. That's his name in the show. It's Glass.
What is his first name?
Hugh Glass?
Hugh Glass?
I think so. I think that's what it is.
That's right?
Okay, I'm pretty confident it's Hugh Glass. But so, Leo, when you watch the bear mess him up. You're like, man, that's pretty gruesome, you know, and you're like, man, that must suck, or like that's pretty deep. But like I don't think I understood how bad it was until they're like fixing him up, and it's like bad.
yeah, and they,
I
like,
think I
kinda-
think probably one of the most, besides the hand getting gnawed on, is when the bear cuts his neck.
Oh yes.
That's when I was like, whoo.
That's
I was
crazy.
Like, God, night.
Like it just and their the wounds they show in this are pretty fucking bad.
They're gruesome.
Like they got me squirming a bit.
Yeah. And then when they're coming to heal him, like, quick, give me your rags. I'm gonna press them down. And I know that's what you're supposed to do, but like, if my neck was cut, like, don't grab a rag and shove it in my cut in my neck.
Shoot me immediately, please.
Oh, I'm good to die. You know,
Yeah, like-
I'm good to die. They're like, what's the reasonable thing for us to do? I know. Let's strap him up to some logs and carry him around.
And this is like all like pre-medicine shit.
I know.
So like he's just raw dogging.
Yeah,
he's
tweaking.
There
He's
ain't
tweaking.
no like fucking thing he can take. Nothing. He's just strapped to a board.
Well,
and just
there's one scene I think when like, okay, I'm pretty sure his like leg is broken because there's a scene later when he's crawling
it's
around
broken
and
shit.
his foot is like the other way, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my! I think that got me more than anything else.
Really?
The foot being the wrong way, I was like, ugh.
Whenever he's like kind of stands up and like you could see him drag it for
Yeah.
a minute, that's whenever I was like, yeah.
But so when he's like laying down and getting recovered by his son, General Hux, and then Guardian's boy.
Guardians boy.
General Hux is like, he's like, do it. And Guardian's boy like pulls his ankle or something, and then he just like passes out from like pain. And they're like, great, now let's sew him up. And so then they obviously like take them with him when they're like traveling back whenever. Everyone besides Guardian's boy, General Hux, and his son, everyone's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why are we taking him? You know? And so
I mean, I get it. Like they need to get back.
Yeah.
Like there's people after him. You know, the Native Americans are trying to get him. You know, they need,
kill him. Like, kill him and let's move on. you
kill
know? That's-
him. I mean, see. Here's the thing: is I agreed with the stay back and like let him heal for a bit, and I thought that like great idea, General Hux, perfect. You know.
Look at you thinking, buddy.
You could have left the two boys. It would have been fine.
Oh, yeah.
The guy, Tom Hardy's character, Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
he specifically does that just so that way he could try to kill that guy. Like, from the moment he did that, I was like,
That's
okay,
one thing I was like, he was like, he wants to kill him.
He's
He wants to kill him.
he's trying to go for it. He's trying to
I
kill
will
him.
say, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier when the Native Americans met the French,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point, I didn't have subtitles on, and you can tell that they're getting into it. And I wrote down, I said, you can tell this meeting's intense without even understanding them, because I couldn't understand them. I didn't have subtitles
yeah.
on. I was like, they're getting into it. One scene I thought was, you know, I said there's no comedy in this movie. This was not meant to be funny.
Okay.
But there was one scene. It's when they taped up Leo to this board and everything, and they're crossing a river, and two guys in the back that are holding him get into it and they're
Oh, yeah,
fighting.
I saw
and
that.
then they drop him in the water and his head's submerged in the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's gonna drown, guys. I don't know why I found that so funny, but like, I'm like, guys, he's gonna die.
It's an odd scene. Like, they literally show him just like dip down in
Yeah.
the water, and he's just like,
He's probably like, thank goodness.
thank God, they're gonna fucking drown me now.
This is how I die, thank goodness.
Anything to get out of this shit. They drag him across like so many different terrains and
I
stuff.
know.
And they drop him like at one point.
They
and,
drop
like,
him.
Oh,
He's
man.
just getting put through it, dude. Like, I would not want to be in this guy's situation at all. Like, it sucks. Yeah, this scene right here, and they're fighting, and then they just drop him. Like what?
At least somebody goes to pick
Somebody,
him up.
it's Guardian's.
it's Will
boy.
Poulter.
It's Guardian's boy.
The Guardian's boy.
Oh my god, I thought that was
What
hilarious.
else is he in? We're the Millers. That's where I remember him from.
Yeah, yeah. I like it's a good movie, but I thought that was hilarious. Like, probably the only time I laughed during this movie. Maybe not laugh, but got me a little,
Yeah, a little chuckle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something a little lighthearted in this fucking heavy movie.
Yeah, it is deep, man. So obviously they get into the mountains, and they're like, "Listen, we can't carry him anymore." And so Hux is like, "All right, put a cloth over his head, and I want to shoot him point blank. After I've dragged him for miles and miles, now I'm gonna shoot him. After he suffered more and more, now I'm gonna shoot him."
Put the rag over his eyes. I was like, really?
Yeah, like, come on.
You've come way too far to like kill him now.
And so obviously his boys are like, "No, Papa," or whatever, and it's like, "Don't kill my father."
No, Papa.
No.
You have to talk to Mother more.
Yeah, and so then Hux is like, "I'll offer 100, whatever," and somebody wants to stay.
Whatever low currency they had at that point.
And Fitzgerald's like, "Oh, I'll do it," because one, I think he just wants the money.
Yeah,
and then I think he wants some money, and then it turns into, I just want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And so then the son, Tom Hardy, and Guardian's boy, they all stay back to protect Mr. DiCaprio.
Yeah, I mean, they I don't know. From the whole beginning of the scene, though, he just seems like, I want to kill him. Like, he's like,
one of my things is, why is Guardian's boy so eager? He's like, I'll stay back. Like, why is he so like?
I think because him and what is the kid's name? Tonto.
No.
Hawk.
Hawk. Okay, that's right. Hawk. Yeah.
Him and Hawk. I'm gonna find out the other Bridger and Hawk.
Okay.
I think they had like a pre-existing relationship because they seem kind of like. I mean, they're both about the same age. They're both in this shit scenario. You know. So I imagine they're bonding a little bit.
I guess that's a fair statement to make.
Even though I don't know how old is Will Poulter. I mean, he looks the same age and everything.
Yeah, I think the first movie I saw him in was the third Narnia movie.
He's in Narnia?
He's in the third Narnia. It's like what's it called? Something with a boat. Mm-hmm. And he's the annoying cousin.
Interesting.
And he like turns into a dragon.
What?
Yeah.
Turns into a dragon.
I want to talk about horrible CGI. Golly, let me tell you. They can make this realistic lion talk and move and look pretty good. And then this crappy dragon that looks like he's from Dragon Tales. Like,
I haven't heard of Dragon Tales in a long time.
There you go. There's your Dragon Tales reference. But so, obviously, they ended up staying back. And I don't know why Fitzgerald's so ugly. I just thought maybe he got messed up with a haircut someday. Then we learned that like Fitzgerald got almost killed by the Indians. That explains his hatred for the Indians. That's probably why he might not like Leo and Hawk.
He mentions that like whenever he's talking to Leo and they're like he's trying to intimidate him during that scene where they're hiding the pelts.
Yeah.
He mentions that, like, to Hawk, like, all they see is your skin color. Yeah. You need to be above it.
Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, when they're, like, staying with him until he dies or whatever, and Guardian's boy and Hawk are out doing something, and Tom Hardy is over Leo, and he's like, "Listen, you're making my life miserable. You better blink it, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
And so you know how it takes...
He says, I think he says wink, though. He doesn't say blink at first. He says wink.
Does he?
I think so.
Interesting.
And then that's what I was like, because I remember watching him being like, well, he didn't wink. And then he's like, oh, that's good enough for me. I'll start talking him out.
So, because, like, Leo's character is like, first off, when he said, right when Tom Hardy's character was like, blink or wink, I was like, and I'll kill you. And I was like, I'm going to hold my eyes open too. And I made it like 5 seconds or whatever. And I was like, crap, I'm dead. And because Leo holds his eyes open for
he does.
A little
and it's
bit.
one shot. And
yeah.
that
holds
did impress
it open
me.
for a little bit. Because I was like, I blinked like 5 times in the span of 10 seconds. I'm dead.
It is impressive.
So
I didn't notice.
when he blinks, do you think it's because he has to? Or do you think he's like, all right, kill me?
It's because he has to. It's because he has to. And he does it in a way that's like he holds his eyes closed for longer.
Okay, but then I interpreted that as my time has come. You know what I mean?
I took that as a clear, like, No.
screw you. Okay.
Yeah, like
I think it could go either way. Because he was like, it seemed almost like a
I mean, you really
accepting my peace,
Yeah.
but I feel like it could be a, I'm not dying, you know? So I feel like it could go either way. And then he's like, all right, I'll make it painless and quick. Puts it over his mouth and he's like strangling it.
He's like already ready. He's like, let's go, bro. All right.
He's got the cloth in his hand and he's like, just blink, just blink. Okay, cool. And he's like choking him right away. I'm like, golly, man. I do want to mention when the bird leaves, so obviously he's like hallucinating or whatever. He's seeing like his dead wife.
Yeah, they're talking about the stability of the trunk, which like comes up a bunch.
And so he's talking about his dead wife, whatever. When the bird leaves his dead wife's body, is that like her soul leaving her? Is that like a representation of that?
That's what I took it as.
Okay.
I mean, like
that's what I thought too.
Like usually in like stuff like that, like I mean, not reincarnation, but like the connection with nature that like is a lot. So, but like that's what I took it as. It's like her connection with nature, and that she lived on. You know, that she's still connected in a way.
That's what I thought. Okay. So obviously, sorry, I just want to cut that in because I had a question about that.
Yeah.
Going back to Fitzgerald's like, all right, time to kill you. You know, so he's doing it. Then Hawk comes in and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
You can't kill my paw.
Yeah, and so then Hawk's like obviously yelling for Guardian's boy. What I thought was a little unnecessary. Tom Hardy's like, well, you're screaming too much. I'm going to shank you now. Just pulls out a knife and goes, shink, 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 and kills him.
Yeah,
right?
he straight up just starts shanking him.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the bear. He's not attacking you.
Right.
Because he's like, quit yelling. No, you're yelling too much. No, you're dead.
Well, I get it. To an extent, I get it. Because people are after him, and you start yelling, and it could bring people...
I don't know to an extent. Like, I'm going to stab you if you keep yelling. Okay, you keep yelling. There you go. It's just you're yelling.
Well, he wanted to kill.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to kill. Yeah. But I'm saying, could have went about it a little bit better.
A little bit. But, I mean, he was just like... He wanted to kill. He would have killed everybody there if it was not, like, for him needing to get out,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think purposely he wanted to, like, get the boy killed.
Oh, yeah. And then what I thought was crazy, he kills him and then goes and he doesn't even really hide him. He, like, takes Hawk's body maybe...
it's, like, right across, like, one bank.
Maybe, like, 15 feet.
Yeah.
Guardian's boy is dumber than a box of rocks.
For real.
Where's Hawk? Goes around screaming, Hawk. Bro,
Yes.
he is 10 feet from your camp.
Right.
Oh, there's a blood trail. Where does that lead? Oh, there's Hawk.
I was like,
oh
how
my
can
gosh.
you not, like... Because, like, I saw him dragging him off. I figured he, like, dragged him into the woods out there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Nope.
Nope, not even close.
As soon as Leonardo DiCaprio was like, better to move, he's like, crawls right over to him. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's just right there the whole time.
Exactly. And so Leo's character obviously watches Tom Hardy kill his son. Mm-hmm. And he's like foaming at the mouth. He is ready to, he's like, I don't care if I have 15 broken bones. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
What I thought was crazy is that Fitzgerald was just like, yep, Hawk's gone missing. And he's like acting like nothing happened right next to Leo's character. He's like, nothing happened. And he's like, wink, wink, I killed your son.
Well, Leo can't talk at this point.
I know, but
and
like,
he knows he's gonna kill him.
I know, but it is like
he already, because like the whole thing of him like saying like there's 20 Indians down by the river.
Yeah, that was fake. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
I cannot get over that. That's crazy. Whenever he says there's like 20 Native Americans down by the river, it's all set up plan to like get him killed.
He's like, quick, we gotta bury him. And then so Guardian's boy is like, oh, okay. So they pick him up, and then Guardian's boy trips or something. Let's go. He falls, and then
he just starts dragging him.
And
And then
so
he's just kind of like, wait, what? No, I don't. And he's just like,
and then he's throwing dirt on him.
Yeah,
right?
he's
like,
literally burying him alive.
Chucking dirt. He's like, like he's choking on dirt.
Yeah.
And then. And then he's like, well, we can't leave him here. And he goes, all right, shoot him then. And he goes, well, I'm not going to shoot him. Okay, well, you going to kill him or you going to leave him living? You got two options here, Guardian's boy.
I
And
like that
so-
he throws the water bottle at him, though. Like,
He
I was
does.
like, okay, good, at least he kind of helped him. He knows.
He threw him a bone.
Yeah.
Threw him a bone. And so then,
Because he's got to go. I mean, he that dude was going to kill him if
Yeah.
he was not going to follow him, you know? So, like, he did what he had to.
so I will say, how long do you think it was from when they left him there? Because like snow does fall and like accumulate. Like, you think it's a couple hours? You think it's like a day?
How long they leave Leo in the grave?
Or how long do you think Leo is in the grave until he's like, I gotta move?
What does he look like whenever he comes out of that?
He looks pretty dead, but he also looks pretty dead like most of the movie.
Let's
So
see, let's bury him. No, this isn't very long at all, if anything.
oh, there's dirt. What do you think? Maybe like an hour?
No, I don't even think that. I think.
Well, go back a little bit because you see there's snow on his body. Not much snow.
Yeah,
Maybe
like-
it's just from the dirt.
Like in the grave, I don't think he's there for long. I think it's after that, whenever he's next to his son.
Oh, when he's like laying, when he crawls 10 feet away and finds his son, and then he's right there, and then he passes out or whatever, and then we get the scene where Tom Hardy is casually mentions, there was like 10 Indians, and then Guardian's boy's like, what do you mean 10 Indians? Oh,
Yeah, he wants to kill
So-
him or whatever.
hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then we get the scene where Tom Hardy's like, oh yeah, 10 Native Americans or whatever, and Guardian's boy is like, what do you mean 10 Indians?
That's right, I was about to skip that.
I thought there was 20 Indians, and he goes, well, whatever, same thing. And then he's like, grabs the guy and he goes, tell me the truth. What is there? Blah blah blah. Blah. He goes, no, and he's like, kind of freaking out.
He's
and
a
then,
little.
yeah, and then Tom Hardy just pushes him over, like, God, like doesn't even hit him hard and just takes the gun.
He's a little pussy nerd.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
He pisses me off
He's
because it's like
he's
we're gonna
the
bring
exact.
this up.
He's the same character in this movie that he is in We're the Millers.
Yeah.
This is his ancestor.
It is.
This is just
this is great.
This is just his ancestor.
He's like great grandfather.
Yeah, 150 years ago. Like
That's fucking funny.
That's exactly what this is.
It's a connected universe. See, then let me see. I want to see how much snow is on the. See, it's like quite a bit on here.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think he's there for that long. Because like maybe like a couple hours, I guess. And that, it all depends on snowfall too.
Yeah, if it's heavy or not. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because you see it later on, whenever he actually leaves them, and then the Native Americans find him.
Yeah.
And he's like actually buried in snow at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
I do like that he grabs. Is it the knife from his son or
I don't know
he
what-
grabs something from his son as like a.
Was that used later on in the movie?
I can't remember. Guess we're gonna find out.
Oh, you know what? No, because he uses the hatchet. Oh, that's not the hatchet. It's way too small for the hatchet.
Oh yeah.
What is going on here? I don't remember him grabbing that knife or whatever that was.
I don't know if he even uses it, but
That's
it's.
stupid. I hate whenever. See, this is gonna make me mad because I hate whenever people. Do
Oh, I
the
hate
Chekhov-
Tom Hardy.
It's the Chekhov gun thing. It's Chekhov's gun. Have you ever heard of this?
Maybe, but not by the name Chekhov's gun.
It's
I think I know what you're talking
when
about.
you set something up in the first act, they need to use it by like the second or third act
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is. You know, whatever bullshit. If you set something up, use it.
Yeah.
And that seems like a setup for something.
Yeah.
I hate shit like that.
Tom Hardy's, or not Tom Hardy. Well, you hate Tom Hardy. Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo's character. He's like, all right, my son's dead. Time to go find Tom Hardy and kill him. He's basically you if you're injured. He's
Yeah.
like, I gotta kill Tom Hardy.
I gotta kill.
I do like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the fur that he wears that's the bear, right?
Yeah,
That's the bear's
you,
fur.
you see the bear
Skin, right?
skin
Okay,
at
that's
one
what I
point.
thought. I didn't think I was tripping. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I
what I
remember
thought.
looking in the background and being like, "What is that weird skinwalker back there?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the bear.
Oh,
probably
it's the-
skinned."
it's the skin bear.
It's the skin bear.
Yeah, and so then he like crawls around and is like basically helpless for a little bit.
Yeah, because he doesn't have like he can't like walk.
Oh,
yet.
no,
so he's
no,
just
he's-
literally crawling across
I think
the ground.
I think this is a scene I was talking about where we see him crawling on his foot and then his foot is just like the wrong direction.
I think so.
Or it
yeah.
might be when he's crawling to his son that was 10 feet away. I can't remember.
I think it's probably both.
Probably both.
He does it
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
You see that broken leg quite a bit.
Yeah. It's they're like, hey, guess whose leg's broken? It's Leo's. That's whose leg is broken.
And see, this is like what I'm talking about. Like, they just have so many sprawling shots of like the nature, which is fine, but it's like, how many times are you really gonna do that before it gets like old? You know?
Yeah.
Like
I think I get what you're saying, that this is a movie that wants you to understand, like, look at our breathtaking scenes. Because they are very nice.
it's beautiful, but like,
what does it contribute? Yeah,
I'm not watching a nature documentary.
I get what you're saying.
I want more shit to happen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I do like this though. I like whenever he's like a little grubby man and he's like just
Little homeless guy?
the bones and stuff,
Yeah.
trying to pull out the cartilage
Yeah.
and everything. Because like it really kind of shows he's a survivor, but I just like he's all grubby.
I will say that Leo's character is just like, he does it from the start of the movie to the end of the movie. He does not get a single break go his way.
No.
Every decision or everything that happens to him is just like the wrong thing. Like, all right, he gets attacked. Mm-hmm. All right, then he gets attacked by a bear. Mm-hmm. All right, then his son dies. Or track back. Before his son dies, he gets dropped in the water, almost drowns. All right, then he's left to basically fend for it, or then he's left for people to protect him. Then he's tried to get killed. Mm-hmm. Then his son dies. Then he gets buried alive. Then he's like scrounging for this food, falls off a water, or gets attacked by Indians, falls off a waterfall, gets attacked by more Indians. Mm-hmm. Like, he is just one hit after another. Bro is not living the life.
No, he's always having trouble in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really weird because like it seems like everybody he encounters also dies.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Anything he has like come near him just like dies.
He's basically death.
But I just don't care. Just move on. Like, I get it. Like, he just needs to get to the river. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. Too much, too long.
I think there's a ton of, not build up, but like the first act of the movie up until when Tom Hardy leaves. Like, there's a lot to talk about. And then the next, like, maybe not hour, but the next 30, 40 minutes of the movie is really just how long can he survive?
Yeah, you know? It's basically just him running from Native Americans and then getting attacked by Native Americans. Yeah, and then finding somebody else that he needs to attack.
I will say one of the cooler scenes is when he's got this stick and he's like down by the river, and then an elk walks by and then he pretends to shoot it.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. You could see him like kind of longing to like more. Like, he's like, I wish I had my shit right
like
now.
I thought that was a really cool scene. And then he falls and then following that, like, the Native Americans are the ones that end up finding him when he's in that river. And then I like how he kind of just like grabs his stuff and he goes, well, it's time to go now. And he just like sinks into the river. He's like, I'm gonna leave before this gets any worse. And obviously it gets worse because they're like shooting arrows at him as he's like floating down the river.
Yeah, and he goes all the way down that river basically.
And you can see it's like two waterfalls.
Yeah, like
oh, here comes another one.
Was the meteor that happens right after he gets out of the water, like this meteor happens, is that real or what? What is that? Because like it falls like almost in front of him, you know, like.
Oh, in front of Tom Hardy's character?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was part of his like hallucination. I have no idea what it means because like right after is when it's followed by like a mountain of bones. I'm pretty confident it was
his flashback of exposition.
Yeah, because then like you see Tom Hardy's character dress up in like that like get up when obviously he wasn't there when it actually happened, when like his family was murdered and everything. So I think it's just a hallucination or like him trauma dumping on us.
It's just so weird. I don't know. It's just so many weird.
It is. I know they're trying to get a point across when they do that kind of stuff, but it never landed with me.
Yeah, me either. I just thought that if you're gonna do such a realistic movie to like then do like hallucination flashbacks, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just do regular flashbacks at that point and just like make it definitive of what happened. You know.
Yep, I agree. So then, after the hallucination bit and whatever, he basically
I like his little fish trap.
You like his fish trap?
It's a good little fish trap.
He eats it like Gollum. He just grabs the fish and just like, I don't know.
He chops right into the side of that thing.
I don't know. Personally, I'd put it on the fire for like, I don't know, more than a second and then chop on it. But he just like starts going to town. He's like, oh.
The little sushi. Man.
Yeah. And then later that night, he's awoken by these flames from this other Native American guy. And I like how he's like crawling and like, you know, almost begging for food. And he kind of just, the Native American guy just like throws him a chunk of raw meat. He bites into it. He's like, oh, ugh, this is horrendous. Yeah. And then he's like,
well, he gives him like the liver in it.
Yeah. Well, he bites into something. He's like, ugh, ugh. He's like, this sucks. And then he's like, well, actually, it's not half bad. And he like eats all up, obviously.
Well, eat just anything to eat.
But yeah, like, he just ate the sushi a minute ago. You can eat some raw meat.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly. Eat some nice raw. What was it? Buffalo, right?
Yeah, that was a buffalo.
I was about to say moose, and I was like, that don't look like a moose.
That don't look like a moose. No, yeah, it's a buffalo. He eats the part of the buffalo. I think it is the liver. I think you're right.
It's got that liver look to it. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if he actually ate a liver. Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Well, that would be interesting. It would have surprised me. I mean, he's a pretty like, you know, gets in care. What's the method acting?
Is he a method actor?
I think he like gets into his roles. Like I know on Django Unchained, he during the movie he like has a glass in his hand and he breaks the glass and then it cuts his hand and then that stays in the movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like everyone's reaction was like obviously like raw and he like kept going and so then everyone else kept going and so that was something that like stayed in the movie.
Interesting.
So I don't know if he's a method actor, but I know he's a pretty intense actor. I know that. Or I like that the next morning whenever Leo wakes up and this other Native American guy's like investigating his body, he realizes like, oh, you're hurt. He goes, I'll fix you. And he kind of just like starts to fix him up.
Yeah, he just
I thought it was interesting because he was like, oh, you're hurt. I'll fix you. I do like this, not a sidekick, but like.
It's just kind of like the helper.
It's like his Alfred.
Yeah,
you know,
like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
kind of the.
I'm a fix you.
Yeah,
you know,
the wizard.
The wizard, the older, wiser character.
Yeah.
Yes. They like hop on his horse or whatever and they start traveling. It is nice to see him like catch a break for once.
Yes.
Okay, this is I said earlier how he doesn't catch a break at all. This is the single break he catches in the entire movie. Lucky him. So when Fitzgerald and Guardian's Boy return back to the camp, and he's like, you know,
and he's straight up lying to General Hux.
Well, before he's like, you know, remember what happened? Like, don't tell him.
Oh, he's telling Bridger to lie.
Yeah, and then he gets to General Hux and he goes, oh yeah, he was a great burial, blah 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 blah, and he goes, but Guardian's Boy here, you know, you should really be thanking him. And he's like putting all the pressure on him.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like hyping him up and everything. And so Hux goes to get the money. And then the second he's out of sight, he like looks at him and he's like, you better keep it quiet. And he's gaslighting Hux. And Hux is like eating it up. He's like, oh yeah, awesome job, guys.
Great.
You know?
Thank you for burying my friend, basically. You know? Because I mean, he said, like, you have my word. I'm gonna do what you asked me to.
Yeah.
You know. He has no reason not to believe him, you know?
Mm-hmm. And they're just like, oh, well, Hawk's missing. So, because
they think Hawk is dead because he got captured by Native Americans.
No. Bridger or Guardian's Boy thinks that Hawk's just missing because they don't know. Besides, Fitzgerald only knows what happened.
Yeah.
So I guess they could think he got captured, but he's just gone. Like they don't know where he went.
Well, I think that's the lie that Fitzgerald says is that, oh, well, because the Indians were coming, we left, so we assume he got captured.
Okay, gotcha. And so I know that Fitzgerald gets paid, and then Hux is like, here, Guardian's Boy, you know, we didn't have a deal, but here's money. So was Guardian's Boy just staying back to stay back?
What do you mean?
Okay, so you know how in this scene, Hux gives Fitzgerald money. He's like, here's part of our deal. Here's money. Bam. And then he's like, Guardian's Boy, you did a good job. I know we didn't have a deal, but here's money.
Well, he mentions like that both Hawk and Bridger forego their payment in order for another person to stay. You know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You didn't, yeah. Like,
I guess
it's
I didn't
whenever
pick up
they're
on
on the
that.
mountain and they drop
Okay,
him
okay.
again.
I don't know. I guess I was like typing stuff while I was like, oh my gosh. I
No,
was like
he
filling
mentions
out some
it.
notes or something.
He mentions that like we'll forego our payment, and that was the whole reason that
Okay.
Fitzgerald comes on, because he's basically getting 2 payments for nothing. You know, that's why I didn't understand later on. Whenever he's in the bar, he's like complaining that he's not getting paid yet, and it's like, dude, you just made like 3 paychecks just now, like, and you're
Well, he
complaining
wants
about
4.
more fucking money.
He wants 4 paychecks. Come on now. No. So then we cut to. I'm trying to think of a good buddy. Hall and Oates adventure. Or
Holland
whatever.
Oates.
You know.
He builds him his nice little shelter.
Yeah,
I did like that.
He's like, I'll fix you.
The whole church scene is weird though, because he has that. Okay, so he has that flashback during this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this ruins of a church. Did he like go to this church? Did they
At some
build
point,
it?
no. I think it's just like another trippy dippy thing. You know.
Where did this church come from? Why is it in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know. It's
In this era, like, it doesn't really. I guess
it reminds me of like a conquistador church.
This is a very long shot of his nipple. I didn't notice that at first.
Hey, we gotta get some. We gotta get some DiCaprio nipple in here somehow. And so obviously he like, because his Native American friend basically like encloses him in this thing. Like he's like trapped almost, and so he has to like break out.
Well, I mean, it gives him enough warmth
Yeah.
in there
Keep
to
him
like
warm.
hold him in and like.
So then he's like, oh, I wonder where Oates is at. You know, so Hall and Oates. Hall has to go find Oates, and so he's like looking around for him, and then
He's killed by the French, right?
he sees his buddy hanging around.
What does it say on it? Something about savages. This man is a savage or something like that.
Yeah. So obviously he sees them, and then he sees the Frenchmen up there. I think he can put one and one together. I do like, or gosh, I gotta elaborate. He hobbles around on this stick, and then it goes from him hobbling around on this stick to running and jumping on a horse.
Yeah.
It's like, hold
That was
on,
a
buddy.
weird scene.
You know, it's a little interesting. He's like an old man, and then he's like, haha, I was never the old man.
The
you know?
adrenaline kicks in.
I
and
guess,
you gotta
but
go,
like,
you know?
yeah, I guess, but like, definitely an interesting thing, because this is the scene we talked about where the Frenchman's like,
Dirty fucking Frenchman.
stupid French. He's like, come here, Native American, takes advantage of her, and then does she say or does he say, I'm gonna cut your balls off?
She says it. She says it after. So whenever they get in the tussle, basically, he grabs him and like has the gun to him, and then switches with her for her to
Yeah.
have the knife to him.
Yeah.
And then that's whenever she's like, "I'll cut your fucking balls off."
Okay,
man."
okay, I couldn't remember if he said that or she said that. And so then he gets on like the horses, and like I said, I think he causes more problems for himself than anything.
Yes, he does.
Because when he's at the horses, right? Because they cause, when the Native American chief daughter cuts off the guy's balls, it causes a commotion. He could take the horse and ride off when the commotion's happening, but no. He stands up and shoots somebody and then rides the horse.
Well, no. So they like it's not that she cuts his balls off. They just start noticing, hey, where did he go? Like he's taking too long.
Hey, he's not finished yet, I guess. But I don't know. It's like,
And so what sets him off is him shooting him, and then she cuts off his balls.
I don't know. I just feel like he causes more issues for himself than anything else.
To an extent. I mean,
I feel
what
like-
else was he supposed to do? Like, I mean, at least shooting him would like kind of throw him off for a minute, you know, and then he could like take off.
Or
you know?
or I don't know. Just get on the horse and ride away, and they're like, "Who's that?" I don't know. Or like, "Is that one of our guys?" Well, I don't know. Is that one of our guys? And while they're discussing it, he's gone. And instead, he's like, "They're getting closer. Bam, bam! Get on the horse and go." So like,
Dude, he's got ops, dude.
I
He's
guess.
got ops in the neighborhood. He's
tweaking.
got to go.
He's tweaking, man. I guess. he's like, oh, you're somebody new. Bah, bah, bah.
I mean, it's a good distraction. If he takes off on the horse without shooting somebody, they're gonna shoot him, you know,
I
because
guess,
they kind
yeah.
of have their bearings.
Yeah.
Someone gets shot, you don't really have your bearings at first because you're like, oh shit, what happened here? Wait a minute, and then you see the guy taking off, and you're like, oh, was that? Did he just shoot our own guy?
Yeah.
Was that? But wait, he just got his balls chopped off,
Yeah,
so that's
okay.
somebody else.
Oh, and then somebody else was running away. Okay, I guess you've made a fair point for Mr. DiCaprio.
Everything's a little like hazy in the moment, you know. Everything's like,
Combobulated.
oh, everything's weird, you know. And then we get to that bar scene
When he's complaining about getting 5 paychecks when he could have gotten 7 or whatever.
it's so infuriating.
And so then,
Oh God!
you know how we
We're
talked
gonna
about.
Do you want to talk about the floating lady scene?
I don't know. It's more hallucination, man. It's just.
It's more nothing. It's
Yeah.
more nothing that happens in
Well,
this
because
movie. And
it'd be different if it added stuff. It doesn't add it.
Right.
The only thing it does is it reinforces the idea that he misses his wife. Cool. I know you miss your wife because I've been shown that about 9. The first thing in the movie was you missing your wife because she died. Okay.
Yes.
Other than like. Not whatever, but like it's just so much more. Like this movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes. It could have been
2.5 hours.
It could have been an hour 40-minute movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, and so earlier we mentioned how he was walking around on one leg, basically, and then Reg went on the horse. All right, that's adrenaline too. This next scene when he's like camping by himself, basically with his horse, and then an arrow shoots the log right next to him.
Yes.
And he's like, oh crap, he runs. He runs and jumps on his horse. Like nothing is wrong.
And he fell too.
Yeah, and he just jumps on the horse and he's like, yeah. Like, talk about it. Like he just gets up like nothing's happened.
Adrenaline, dude.
I guess.
Because
but
as soon as
like-
the arrow hits, he knows like,
Yeah.
we gotta go.
And my thing is, why is this entire Native American party just
Trying to kill this one
this
dude.
All right, let's send like 3 guys after him. No, they're like 50 of us. Let's go.
They're like not even capture him or anything.
No.
They're like, we're gonna kill him
No.
right out the gate
Yeah.
here.
And then talk about rolling with the punches. First off, how do you not know that there's a cliff coming
Can
up?
you not see it?
Like I think at the very last second he tries to stop at like the last possible second, and he was riding around in this area, so he should have known that there was a cliff coming up. Like,
yeah, he knows this land better than anybody
Yeah.
else, right?
Okay,
I
you
mean,
can-
you could see it kind of looks
no,
like it's like
you
everything.
can tell.
And-
Okay.
Okay.
And then he slows up at the last possible second, and then he dives off this
I
cliff.
wonder if that's an actual effect though, because I know like so I know whenever people fly airplanes, that's like a big thing is like you can't discern the difference between some of the mountains and the sky sometimes. So I wonder if it's that same kind of illusion that everything's kind of blending together as you're
I
looking
guess.
at it.
But didn't he like rode into this like he like rode into this area like the night before?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Should've
know
known,
there's a
right?
cliff like a quarter mile away from where you're camping? I don't know.
I
don't
guess
know.
it just depends on how well you know the land.
Yeah, I guess. Well, he's supposed to know it better than anybody else. Anyway,
I'll give him a break on this one. I think he's just panicking.
Okay.
And he's just like, oh.
hey, I do like how I was like, I like this movie, and you're like, I don't know, and then I'm hitting hard, and you're like, listen, man, give him a break. You're like,
Give him a break.
you're defending him at every possible. Every time I'm like, I don't know, this, and this. You're like, hold on. And you're giving him every break possible.
Because there's parts like I I understand from a panic mindset.
Yeah,
You know?
okay.
I understand from the what he's like trying to like kind of he's just trying to get anywhere quickly, you know.
Yeah.
And so and so like he just kind of just goes, you know.
Yeah.
I do like after he falls off the cliff though, and they reference Star Wars.
Oh yeah, he
an
pulls
amazing
he pulls
reference.
the Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
Nobody's ever done that until Star Wars did it, so I'm really glad they were able to put in a good Star Wars reference.
It's never happened before.
It's a
until Star Wars.
And it never happened. It's a direct Star Wars
And
reference.
it's never happened again until this movie.
Until this movie.
No one's ever thought of it except for George Lucas. I will say I was kind of scrolling through my notes, and I wanted to mention this earlier, but I didn't. But when Leo pulls up to the gun behind the Frenchman and is like, let her go, whatever. I said, baller move by Leo. And then I said, baller move by Native American girl. Literally. Because that's a baller move, you know?
That's terrible. It was a baller move.
Quite literally a baller move.
I'm glad that they did that tastefully. It could have been way worse.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it could have been.
Like, I do like this whole, like, him coming out of, like, and it's still kind of, like, frozen on the outside
cocooning.
and stuff.
He's coming out of his cocoon. He goes from glass to Leonardo DiCaprio. he's evolving. I do like how he writes in the snow. It says like revenge or Fitzgerald killed my son. Like this is, I know like the whole time it's been he's gonna get back and he's gonna get his revenge. But I think this is the moment where it was like it's about to happen. Like he's about to go get his revenge. Mm-hmm. You know, this is where it kicks in I think that when you read the Fitzgerald killed my son, when you read them, I think that kicks in the third act.
The whole third act of this movie is amazing.
Yes.
Like it's probably it redeemed a lot for me because at the beginning I was just like, whatever, who cares?
Well, I think up until the bear attack, mm-hmm. and then up until Fitzgerald killed my son, I feel like that whole middle part could have been like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but it was an hour.
Yeah,
it was an hour and a half. So like
way too long.
It could have been condensed a lot more, but I think the third act is pretty good. So obviously, this is where they're in the settlement, and the Frenchman comes in, and he has like the canister that Guardian Boy gave.
Oh yeah, the water canter.
Yep, because we didn't mention it, but the canter that he gave him had like a little sigil on it that
he was like scraping it in whenever he was
Tom
like
Hardy,
chilling at the camp.
Yeah, and Tom Hardy was like, "You better cut that off. I'm gonna cut your balls off."
Yeah,
you know?
It's just like a little simple spiral.
And so then when Leo was being a baller with the Frenchman, when he escaped, he dropped the canister. So this is how the Frenchman got the canister.
They end up, a Frenchman shows up at the settlement camp store. And
so then he ends up like pulling out the canister, and they're like, "How'd you get this? How'd you get this?" And
well, like Poulter freaks out because what is his name? Poulter Bridger.
Bridger's like, how'd you get that?
Because he thinks Hawk's alive.
Yeah, so they all think Hawk's alive, and the only person that knows that it's not Hawk and that it's this darn tootin' glass guy, mm-hmm. Hugh Glass, what a name, is Tom Hardy. And he is like...
You could see it in his eyes. He's like, I am fucked.
He's like, diggity darn.
I need to get the hell out of here.
And he knows it. You gotta get out of Dodge.
Gotta get out of Dodge.
Yeah. And so I do like how they're moving through the forest. It's dark. You only see the lights, and then you just see this like shadow appear.
You got a nice fog going.
Beautiful fog. An immaculate fog. Really gets you going.
I do like him showing up, and he just looks like he's
just been through
some shit. He immediately just collapses and like, finally, I'm done.
They're like, you look worse than when we left you with the bear. And they're like, oh my gosh, is it you? And they're like, we got to get back. And so like they obviously like book it back.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald is gone.
Yeah, I assume like in the travel time between.
Oh yeah, he was like crap. Gotta break in, steal money, and get out. So that's what he does.
Yeah.
But
I imagine like this whole story was told to General Hux on the way back, because as soon as General Hux gets back, he's just like on a rampage.
Oh,
he's like, where is Fitzgerald?
He beats the crap out of the kid. He's he's breaking through everywhere, realizes that Fitzgerald's gone. Then when everyone else rides back and Guardian's Boy's there, he's like, I thought you said he was dead. And he's like kicking him and stuff. And I was like, it's borderline child abuse.
Well, I mean.
But I don't.
I mean, he's an adult. He had a mustache. He had a very faint, weak mustache.
Hey, there were some 12-year-olds that got some mustaches, all right? You know.
I mean, I assume he's an adult at this point. And he's just like, I mean, I get it. Like, this was like his buddy a bit, you know?
Yeah. And so he obviously figures out that Fitzgerald's gone, and Hux goes and tells Leo when Leo's like relaxed and he's like taking the hot bath or whatever. He's like, all right, I'm going after him. And Leo's like, I'm going. He goes, no, you're not. He goes, stop me. Like, I'm going, you know. I will say, when he's taking the hot bath outside and he pours the water on himself and the steam goes everywhere, that made me really want to take a hot shower.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks relaxing. That looks
100%.
relaxing.
You see that steam coming off in the cold, and you're just like, that seems nice.
That must be. You know what? I'm gonna pause this movie and go take myself a hot shower. I wish it was snowing. I'm just gonna go outside and go. Yeah. And so Hux and Leo, they're going after Fitzgerald. They're riding after him, and they get to, or he's like, you know, how far can he be? He's like, oh, maybe a day, or like something like that. So they end up splitting up when they're closer to him, or I think they find another trail, and he goes, well, how far does he think he is now? And they're like, well, he can't be any more than half a mile. So they end up splitting up, and Hux goes to the right trail where he finds Fitzgerald. I thought it was interesting that for how much Fitzgerald hates the Native Americans, and when Fitzgerald kills him, he skins the top of his head.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Like the Native Americans. I don't know. I think that was a get at like Leo. He's like, I know you're here. Like, I don't know.
Really?
I think it was a dig. I think it was a dig.
I just don't know. I didn't understand that. Like, because, like, I don't know. I mean, why would you inflict that kind of trauma having your own trauma about it, you know?
I don't know. I think it was just like a
You're
dig.
repeating the cycle, man.
And so, obviously, he finds Hux. He's like, well, darn, you know.
Well, darn.
You know, darn it, buddy. You could have.
At least he, like, picks him up. Like, he's going to go give him a proper burial.
Yeah, so he does that, and then he, like, finds this stick, and he's like, wait, hey, hold on a second. I got an idea. And so he basically props up Hux
on the
as
main
like
horse,
as like the person, right?
to make it look like it's him.
Right.
And then, like,
he's played dead.
Yeah,
My
he's
first thought
playing
is,
dead.
how do you? I know he hits him, but like you have the surprise attack. How do you not get a kill shot?
He did get a kill shot.
No, no. I'm talking about Leo. He shoots him in the arm. He doesn't get a kill shot. He doesn't kill him right there.
Oh, you're talking about,
like,
yes.
Yeah,
whenever
like,
he,
why,
like,
how,
uncovers underneath the blanket
like,
and he's
like,
laying
like,
across
kill
the
him
horse.
right, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you shoot him in the arm and he, like, runs away. Like, I don't know. It was
Is it just in the arm? Hold on, I want to see.
I'm, like, 19% sure it's in the arm. Yep, it's in the arm.
No, it's straight up in the arm.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, not even, how do you miss the whole torso? You hit just the arm, man? Like,
how do you miss being this good of a shot the entire movie?
Yeah, like there was multiple times where he's riding around, he turns around backwards and just like a quick shot, and he
takes him out.
face shots an Indian, he falls up.
Right, like
He face shots a Native American, and they fall off and die.
I could
but
see
then
how
he
that's
pops
annoying.
up for half a second, and he only gets to hit an arm. Like, come on, man. And
I mean, I'll give him defense. I mean, he was going real quick and, like, going from blind to shooting. You know, it's
I
like,
guess, whatever.
It's
He's
hard.
like 2 feet away. He's
you
like,
gotta practice. You know, you
well,
gotta
he's
dry
been
fire.
He's been practicing He's been practicing all night, or not all night, but he's been practicing his whole like revenge saga.
True.
And so he basically catches, or they catch up with one another, or because Tom Hardy is like, I've darn messed up. So he's running away, and they basically get to like the riverside. Or no. When do they start? They start fighting on like the side of a mountain, right?
Yeah, they're kind of chasing at first, and then Tom Hardy slips down that side, and then that's whenever they end up.
Oh yeah,
at the
he like
riverbed.
slips and falls down, and then
Yeah.
I thought Leo's character was like doing a cool slide down the mountain.
Yes.
But he
just slipped and
too.
fell too.
Like I thought,
Yeah.
I thought he was doing like a cool like half slide coming in.
No, I thought so too.
But he
yeah.
just fell, and I was like, "What the heck?"
I was like, "This is a sick action slide,"
Yeah,
and then it was like,
nope,
"Wait a minute!"
he
He
just-
lost his rifle.
He
Dumbass.
just fell. That's all it was. Is he had to fall down too, and so they're both like combobulated after they've fallen, right? Before they fall, because we're just cutting back to this. Tom Hardy just throws away his gun. He shoots him or shoots at him, and then he's running away and then chucks his gun away.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't have enough time to reload it, probably.
Use it as a weapon, man. It's coming at you.
It's true. You got to
Clock somebody with it. Yeah. And so then after they fall down the mountain, Tom Hardy, they're both like messed up. And so then Tom Hardy's like walking away. I think this is where I was able to really be like, that's Tom Hardy. Like this whole movie,
Yeah.
you haven't had like a clear shot of him. But this scene when he's like walking away, you get a close up of him. You're
That's
like,
where he really looks
you're
like
like,
Tom Hardy.
that's Tom Hardy. Yeah. And so Leo's like hawking him down. By hawking him down, I mean like slowly walking towards him. This is an epic chase scene where they're both walking. And so they finally get up to one another. Leo's got his hatchet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's a sick hatchet,
It is a
too.
cool hatchet.
I want one so
You want a hatchet? I've got to have a hatchet, man. And
Dude, it's
I
got
bet.
that nice like curve on the bottom.
nice.
Like I love that hook.
And so then they get into, and I'm surprised they have like so much energy when they're getting into this battle. Like they get into it.
Well, I mean, they both know this is to the death.
Okay, well, let's like break it down from each other's perspective.
Okay.
Tom Hardy's character is like, I gotta survive somehow.
Yeah.
I gotta fight to the death. Leo's character is like, I think he says like, I've already died or something like that, and he goes, like, I just want to kill you.
Yeah.
Like he does not care what happens to him. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. Don't matter what it takes.
It's all a revenge plot.
You're gonna die. And so they start going at it. The one scene I thought was pretty cool is when they tackle him or they tackle one another, and Leo like flips over and then
Cuts his
chops
fingers
off
off?
like 3 fingers.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
That
man.
was a cool scene. That was a dope, and it like it's like impactful. Like that you feel it slamming into the ground.
It's got like good weight
Yes,
to it, and I'm
yes,
like, I was
it
impressed.
was nice. It was very nice.
And they have that whole like it's the knife versus the hatchet fight.
Yeah, like a back and
they're
forth.
both getting fairly good licks on each other.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
not like one sided. Like one guy's losing fingers, the other guy's getting stabbed in the side. Like
no.
at one point, Leo's hand gets stabbed through with the knife.
Yes.
Like they're getting licks at each other.
I really liked whenever like they're doing the classic trying to force the knife into each other type move, and they do that slow into Tom Hardy's gut.
Yeah.
I was like,
Those are probably
"Ooh."
some of the those are probably some of like the better. I like when it's a slow going in instead of like a
Yes.
fast, because I don't feel like that's super realistic. People don't just like, I'm gonna get stabbed, oh, I give up,
Yeah.
and then you get stabbed. Like the slow going in, that's realistic.
Like
and when
constant push against it.
and then Tom Hardy bites off. I think I don't know if it's his ear, or like just a
Yeah, he might
piece of his
Tyson
face.
him.
Yeah, yeah. And so he gets bit off. Then Leo stabs Tom Hardy,
Yeah,
and
that's
then he like sinks it into him, and then they kind of just like sit there for a second, right? He's
Well, because
obviously
like Leo's just constantly pushing it in,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
Tom Hardy's still trying to pull it out while it's
Yeah.
in him, and like Leo's kind of like almost twisting it in
Yeah.
there.
And so then this is where he reaches for his hatchet, and then the hand goes through him, and then he grabs the hatchet and sticks it almost right where the knife went in earlier.
Yes, like
It's
right in the gut.
Quite literally a double whammy.
Oh yeah, like at this point, there's very little chance he's gonna survive.
Oh, yeah.
Like
And so I like how he's crawling away, and Leo's like, Crawling's my territory, man.
Crawling's
Ain't
my
nobody crawling
territory.
but me. So he takes the knife and he stabs him in like the leg, and then he's like crawling on top of him, and like I think he's gonna like choke him or like
yeah, well, he
submerge.
starts choking him
Yeah,
out.
and then I
Like-
think he looks up and sees the Native Americans, and he's like,
and then he's reminded of his wife again.
I think does his wife like flash up?
No, I think like you can hear her and she's talking about the tree trunk again.
Oh, okay.
And then that's whenever he's like, well, this is revenge is not for me; it's for God to do. you know?
Well, all right, that's one way to take it. I took it as he saw the Native Americans and was like, instead of me killing you, why don't you have a way worse death and die by the Native Americans?
Well, no, I mean, he
I know,
literally says
I know. He like gives them off to him, Oh yeah, he does say revenge is in God's hands. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we watched different movies.
I think you were so caught up in the beautiful shots of America.
I'm like America, hell yeah,
The
hell
bald eagle
yeah.
starts screeching.
Yeah, I'm like, "Ah!"
Immediately standing up.
And I'm
doing the
over here
pledge.
Pledge of Allegiance, and you're over here like, oh, in God's hands, and I'm over here like, "Caw, caw, caw." We had two completely different watching experiences. I will say, even if he just like pushed him in the river, I think Tom Hardy's character was gonna die regardless. And you can be like, oh well, you know, Leo's character was attacked by a bear and survived the bear attack. Okay,
True.
Leo did not get stabbed in the stomach, lost 5 or 3 fingers, and then hit in the stomach with a hatchet in the exact same spot he was stabbed.
Well, Leo also gets repaired after that.
Yeah.
People find him and actually help him out
Yeah.
and sew him up. Tom Hardy's just floating in the river by himself.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make it. I do like how we see the chieftain's daughter like reunited, and they kind of just like, because I think if it was anybody else, I think they'd kill Leo. Mm-hmm. But I think because
it's because of the daughter. The
daughter
recognizes
was like,
him and like.
The daughter was like, you know what? He's a baller.
Yeah, he's a baller. He's a baller. Real one.
He's a baller. And so they leave him, you know, they let him live.
She rolls by straight up G.
They walk past, and she just throws him the balls of the French guy.
That's so horrible.
She just throws it at him. Hey. And
That's
so
terrible.
I do like the shot where it's just the water like rushing, and then it's like the massive blood spot, and it's surrounded by the snow.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a cool shot. And then it cuts to him kind of like...
It's the end. It's the very end of him like having his final hallucination.
I think he's like come to terms. He got his revenge, and he's like, I can die now. And then I can't... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say this last shot, is it not the cover of the movie when he's like looks into the camera?
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Like,
I never even thought about
like,
that.
The very last scene before it cuts to the credits, I want to say, is it not the cover of the movie?
The poster?
Similar to that? Yeah. Because that was what I thought. I was like, is this the cover or the poster of the movie?
See, then they do that. Yeah, no, actually it's not. I mean, more than likely for the poster, they took their own image, and I mean, it's probably supposed to be reminiscent of the scene. But
then he like looks into the camera. He's like looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, in the poster, he's a little more.
Okay, never mind. Okay. I don't know, but I was like,
I hate that ending of him looking into the camera.
You don't like it?
Can't stand it.
How come?
It just bothered me because the whole time he's looking out towards his like ghost wife, and I'm like, okay, and then he's like slowly turns, and as soon as he started slowly turning, I was like, he's gonna look into the camera. I was like, that's gonna take me right out of the movie if he looks at the camera. And then he does it. He looks straight
would
on.
you have rather just like ended with he like kind of like collapsing and then it fades to black?
No, I would just rather him cut with him just looking off into his wife.
So
like,
he dies.
He does?
Or I'm
Wait,
guessing.
Did he collapse at the end?
No, he doesn't. It's the last scene is him looking into the camera. That's the last scene is him looking into the camera. But I'm saying like he dies, right? Like
you think so?
I think he's like, all right, my life's complete now. I got my revenge. That's that.
Really? You took that as he died?
Yeah.
I took it more as like he made it like.
No,
whatever.
I took it as like he's done. Like his wife's dead, his son's dead. The killer of his son, he got his revenge. Life's complete. Like that's what I took it as. Is he kind of like, because like he's gonna freeze. The horse, like he's far away from civilization. Like he's at least 2 days away. He doesn't know where his horse is at. Like I think I'm taking that as he's come to terms. He can like let go.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I took it that way. I mean, he's been through so much at this point. I think he's.
Well, I thought what's driving him was his revenge. He ain't got no more revenge.
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see that.
He's content.
I mean, it's an open ending, so you can really interpret it however.
The Revenant Part 2.
The Revenant 2. That would be interesting. I doubt there's going to be a sequel to this movie.
Oh, yeah, no. It's been 7 years. The chieftain's daughter and Hugh Glass team up for The Revenant Part 2, The Ballers.
The Ballers. That's so terrible.
So, with that being said, what are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts.
It's okay. I mean, I really like the action scenes whenever they're doing them.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of aside from the oscillating camera whenever there's talking, I think a lot of the cinematography is actually really excellent.
Uh-huh.
I do like the nature shots. I just think there's too many of them.
Okay.
I think everything it looks just visually great, and I think the story is relatively solid. I mean, it's a very simple story, but just didn't come all together for me. I think as a whole, it just kind of was like, meh.
Okay.
I'd maybe watch it again, but I wouldn't watch it willingly again.
Oh, okay. So what do you rank it? What's your rating?
My ranking,
Or what's your rating?
my rating for this guy is going to be a 5.5.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I like this movie.
Okay.
I really do like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very visually appealing movie. It's very beautiful. I think it's a great revenge story. Mm-hmm. Really like the revenge aspect. That's obviously what drives him. And I think it all depends on how you interpretate a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Kinda. And so the ending for me, I took it as he got his revenge. He's dying.
Yeah.
Great ending to the movie. So I think it's all how you take the ending kinda and how you take the whole movie. I do agree it's a bit too long. You could cut out almost an hour. And I think it's still I still think it would be as good as it is. With that being said, I'm gonna give it a 7.8.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
pretty good. That's
Yes.
above Tron. Do you have it above Tron?
I do have it above Tron. I just think that this is a movie I would watch again. And like I said before, I think anything above a 6, I said before, is something I would watch again. I'd watch anything above a 6 willingly. Anything, I guess, below a 6 is something... I guess that's something we need to kind of go into at some point. It's how we rate everything. But anything above a 6 is something I would watch again on my own without any outside forces.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Because this is something that I suggested. I was like, hey, let's watch this. I was like, I've seen it. I like it. Mm-hmm. Let's watch it. You're like, okay. So this is something I would watch again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would watch it again, but just kind of... it would have to be me showing somebody, because it's a decent movie.
Right.
It's just not something I would continuously I wouldn't have it on the background or something.
Yeah,
if I'm doing something,
no, it's something that you have to kind of pay attention to.
It's an event.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So you had it at a 5.5, and I finished with a 7.8.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you have it below the original Tron, and I have it, or you have it well below.
I have it well below.
Because you have the original Tron at what, an 8?
8.5.
8.5.
Original Tron.
So you have it well above, and I have it just slightly above the original Tron for me.
Oh yeah, just slightly, because you're at a 7.5 for Tron, so 7.8.
Little bit different. Yeah, and I could be persuaded either way, but
eventually we'll come back to this ranking, and once we get a solid list going,
yeah,
we'll kind of reassess some
come
of the
back
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'll make the Revenant lower than it is. I'm already kind of maybe I should have pushed it lower. But
well, I will say I actually had it in 8.3 coming into this.
Really?
And during this talking, I was like, because we watched it as we were, and I was like,
I'm glad I could persuade you.
And I was
this
like,
a little
maybe
more garbage than you thought.
I was like, maybe I just, because I watched it, I guess 2 nights ago, and I was tired. And I was, oh, big fight scene, cool. Oh, bear, cool. And you're like, and you're telling me about all those hallucination stuff. I'm like, man, there's a lot of that in it. Man, there's a lot of this in it. So I had to knock it down a little bit. So it wasn't, I think, a 8.3 is what I had it at, or 8.2.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the 8s, so I knocked it down to at least a 7, so 7.8. So I'm definitely persuadable on this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that I could bring this down for you. I guess that's about it, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's gonna wrap up the podcast today. Yeah. What's coming up on our next week's episode?
I don't know. Well, let's see.
With my 4th pick, I'm gonna do Transformers.
Really?
Transformers.
Transformers.
Transformers
Really?
I love that movie so much. It's similar to Pacific Rim. It's not a great story.
Yeah.
It's because what it is the movie is.
Wow.
Wow, that was fantastic. Wow, you guys are really going to have to hop into next podcast.
It's going to be real fun. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of action in that one.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what I said last time, too.
Well,
every one of them's going to have action.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this rom-com. Got to have action.
Watch,
The Notebook.
We do. Yeah, The Notebook. I was going to say Marriage Story.
Well, guys, thanks for listening to our podcast. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay safe.
And it's like, see you later.
All right,
What did I
guys.
say?
Yeah, see you later.
Have fun, y'all.
Have fun, y'all. You want to do that again? Or do you
You
want to keep
can
it?
if you want. I was just going to leave it like that.
No, we're leaving it. There we go.